What a crazy year it's been, my friend, hasn't it? So many just like ups and downs, so many difficult moments. So many times when you're like get so close to just losing yourself. It's tough. That's why I want to honor you. I want to honor you for being here, for looking after yourself, your well-being as best you can, and people around you. Because it's tough, right? It's tough. It's tough out there. We go through so many difficult moments. Moments when you feel like you're off track. Because we are sometimes. And that's why it is so vital to just finish this year on a high. Finish this year with hope. Finish this year with the possibility of more beauty, of more joy, of greater just connection and love coming into your life next year. Hoping for more stability, hoping for better change in the world around us. And we can do whatever we can to make that happen in our own lives. But I think it's so vital to put yourself in a good place. Put yourself and reflect on the year that's been. To reflect on the good things or things that we learned from. That's why today I want to make this our short time together. I want to make this a time to reflect, to reconnect with what's truly important in your life. Things that happened, things are going to set you up in a good place to help you feel good and ready to finish the year with hope. And so you can start the next year strong in whatever way that means for you. But I think that's so vital. So today I want to talk about, by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Joe Bakhmutsky. I'm the founder of Power to Be Happy. I'm also the proud author of this book, Finding Hope in Times of Uncertainty, a guide to thriving in the challenging world of today. And I believe that we all have this power. We all have this power to be happy, to seek greater clarity in everything that we do, to show up at our best every single day so that we know we're enough. And to hold on to that hope that no matter how crazy the world gets, and it sure does get crazy, right? That things can and do change for the better. That's what I do in my coaching work. And that's how we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it from a coaching perspective, the way that I work with my clients, the way I worked with my client last night, because we talk about opening the door to hope. Despite everything that's going on around us, but having that possibility that things can change. It's never a guarantee, right? Because no one can give you a guarantee that this thing is going to happen or things are going to get better, but it's a possibility. And as long as possibility exists, that's what we're aiming for. That's what we can work towards. And that's why I want to talk about this year. I want to speak today about 4 things and just get you to think about those things and what it means for you, for your way of life, and so we can reflect and think about what that really means and some of the things that took place this year that are just vital for you right now. We're going to bring them up, we're going to talk about them and how they support you moving forward. So I'm going to talk about what happens in these 4 areas that I feel are vital to us moving forward. First and foremost, it's about decisions. We want to think about the decisions that you have made. Not only the things that you've done, but the decisions you made. Notice the focus here is not about what you did right, what you did wrong, whether those decisions might be good or might be bad, might be indifferent. It's all about making decisions. Because making decisions, it's hard, isn't it? It's so tough making decisions. It's hard to make any kind of decisions. Because we always feel like we want to hold off. We're afraid to make decisions, all of us, especially tough decisions, but also small decisions. You know, the decision not to necessarily go and change the world, but sometimes the decision to stick to your values, to not get back at someone, to not be rude, decision to not give up when you really felt like it, that's vital. That's what we want to talk about. You know, I know for me, one of the decisions that I really made this year that's been a huge decision. I started this year I started writing a play. I've never written a full-length play, but I decided to write a play about the war in Ukraine. It was going to be my way of putting hope out there. And I started writing this play, and I spent 3 months writing solid every single day. And I met someone who's given me incredible feedback and just made me look at things in a totally different way. And I realized that what I was working on, it didn't really land. It didn't connect with me. It wasn't right for me. It wasn't right for expression of who I am or what I need to be saying. And I need to change that. And I just spent 3 months writing this play. It was tough. I put a lot of effort into it, but I knew it had to change. I knew I had to, share my trauma, had to share my story, had to make it more real. And I knew that I was going to write that. I was going to open up about things that have been haunting me since I was a child. I knew that if I'm going to be rewriting this, I'm going to start from scratch. And I made a decision to, scratch that. I'm going to put all of that work aside. I'm going to start again. And that was really humbling to me, And that decision that I made in that moment, it was vital for me. It's a decision that I'm proud of today. But nobody saw this. Nobody knows that I made this decision, right? I mean, the whole world, will never see this decision. But it's a vital decision for me right now. And that's what I want to ask you. I want you to take a moment to think on what difficult decisions have you made this year? What challenging decisions you made? And I don't mean some global context. I mean, what were challenging decisions for you? What are the decisions that could have gone either way? What are the times when maybe you didn't feel like you were making a decision, but deep inside, you went one way. You made a choice. You made a choice to stick up for yourself. You made a choice to stick up for someone. You made a choice to go one way or another. And maybe whatever the choice you made, whatever the outcome was, maybe it wasn't right. Maybe it wasn't perfect. Maybe it didn't go to plan. Maybe it was a disaster. That happens as well, right? But you made a decision and you went with it. Because making a decision, that takes guts. Making a decision, that's tough, right? That requires something of us. So what decisions have you made this year? Because decisions are going to tell you how committed you are to your well-being, your values, your way of life. That's how that's what we do to honor yourself, to honor the feeling that comes up for you, to honor the challenges and the struggles that you experience. We make difficult decisions, sometimes decisions that nobody cares about, sometimes decisions that will go wrong, but those decisions define us. So what was the decision you made this year, or decisions, plural, that are important to you in some way? That's important to know. And I want you to know that this decision, regardless of which way it went, regardless of which way it's going to go, that's something you can be proud of. That's something that defines you, that you can take with you into next year to live with hope, because we make decisions in the hope that things change, and each decision is a possibility, leads us towards the possibility. That's how we take action, right? We have to make a decision first and then go with it. Good on you, my friend. I salute you for making a decision in your life. Whenever you make one, I want you to go, go ahead. I made a decision. Yes. It just doesn't get celebrated enough. These moments where we make choices about our lives that define the people we are. The second thing I want to talk about is this. It's precious moments. It's these vital moments that take place in our lives. Moments where time seems to stop. Moments when something happened and you appreciated it, or it was meaningful to you, or just it struck you in some way. It was an experience. You experienced a moment, or maybe it only lasted a couple of seconds, or maybe it lasted a couple of hours, but it was an experience that you felt like it was a defining moment in some way. It was an important moment to you. Maybe others won't see it like that. Maybe other people don't even know about it. But it was a moment that was important to you in some way. I know for me this year, this moment was my grandma, who I love, just had this dementia thing that just happened so quickly. It kind of took over, and I remember having a conversation with her when things were getting worse, and that was kind of one of these turning points. And I was talking to her, and she said to me, something is wrong. She kept repeating, so I feel something isn't right. It's like I'm standing at these crossroads and I don't know which way to go. But I know that something that doesn't connect here. And it was such a difficult moment because I could see my grandma struggling, and I love her, and I could see she was in a difficult spot, but things were happening beyond her control or anyone's control, and it was tough on her. And it still is, and it's tough. Because you're kind of losing yourself, you're losing a part of yourself, and you can't do anything about it, and you feel helpless. But it was a vital moment because I was able to talk with her in that moment. I was able, in that moment, to have a conversation that was deep and meaningful. And it was a moment when I said to her, I love you. And I don't think I've said that in such a long time to her. And she said to me, I love you too, baby. And she said it in a way, in exactly the same way that she said that to me when I was a kid. And that's just been such a huge moment for me. That conversation has been an important moment. So sometimes these important moments. It could be a conversation. It could be an experience that you've had. It could be any kind of change or experience that has been important to you. What happened? What was a moment for you that really stands out? A moment where time stood still. A moment that you feel has touched you, your heart. A moment that touched your soul. A person that touched you, who you are on the inside. What was that? I think these moments are crucial and they help us to understand who we are. Those moments help us to look towards hope. Those moments help us reconnect with our humanity. Because life sometimes is difficult, it's tough. I know you've been through things. And I want to honor you for that. You've been through difficult challenges. And probably you are still living with some difficult things in your life. But it's so important to bring those moments up. To reflect on them. And take them forward with us. So that's moments. Precious moments, defining moments, important moments. I hope you've had a chance to reflect on something you've had this year and how they can help you move forward or take it with you. Because good or bad, we need to acknowledge our own experience, honor yourself, to honor the feeling. Next up, I want to talk about something that I believe is hugely underrated. And that is internal shifts. Because we go through life and we change, don't we? Like, you're not the same person that you've been, a year ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? We change. And that's a beautiful thing. And sometimes it happens, because just circumstances, and it happens without us realizing it. And sometimes it's like we pull ourselves towards, different things and aspirations and hopes and dreams in life. And we want to get around different people and different places and, physically, but also different places where we want to be in different communities or, different jobs or businesses or whatever else we end up with. And we experience a change of perspective. Right? You look at things in a different way. Whether that happens because of experience, something that's happened to you, whether it's something you've learned, but it's made you grow. So I want to ask you to take a moment to think about what's been an internal shift for you. I know for me, I started life coaching last year, and I've always felt that this is something that I love doing. I've always felt that this is something that is important to me. But this year, like just really working closely with 5 of my clients, each one of them, I felt such a strong sense of connection. I felt like I was giving them this truly incredible value. And it was different for all of them in a different way, but I felt like I really made a difference to their lives. And I could see it. I know, it's the feedback they were giving me. They give me testimonials, and that's because I've asked them. But I also noticed the feeling that it gave me. It gave me the validation that yes, you're doing the right things. You're on the right track. This is your thing. This is what you're meant to be doing. So it was confirming what I wanted to be living, right? I guess. And it really just gave me the confidence to go, yes, I should be doing this. Yes, I must go on. I had a number of epiphanies along the way with the coaching. I realized, working with different people, I realized looking at different needs. I saw what works. I saw what doesn't. I saw what is really helpful. And I saw that, I had to step away from what I thought was important and sharing some of my perspective, but instead really drawing out and giving people clarity about what's so important for them and being their champion. I realized that so many of us, even if we have people who are really close to us, we don't always have that champion in your corner who's really just believes in you, trusts in you, is there for you, just, urging you on and inspiring you to move forward and supporting you in your decisions you make. So that was just an internal shift that I have experienced. So what has been your internal shifts that you have, something that happened this year? And maybe it was subtle, or maybe it was profound. But what was it for you that really made you look at things in a different way? That gave you a different perspective, a different outlook on life, maybe on relationships, maybe on money, maybe on health, maybe on career, maybe on purpose, maybe on a sense of belonging. What's been like that for you, my friend? I'd love for you to take a moment to think about that. What has been an internal shift you've experienced this year? And last but not least, I want to talk about the wins. I want to talk about the wins that you have had this year. When I say wins, I mean, what are some of the things that turned for you? What are some of the times you did something and you're proud of it? Because we don't get a moment to think about that. Sometimes it just happens and you're going to go on with life, right? What is something that you're proud of? Might be something really small, Might be something that's big. I know for me, I'm proud of having difficult moments and difficult challenges in my life and going through difficult times. But one thing that I know I'm proud of not taking it out on my kids. Because sometimes you go through the day and you're frustrated, there's a lot going on. I don't think I've done that. And I'm proud of it. Maybe I had little moments here and there, but on the grand scheme of things, I think I was gracious about it. Not perfect, but overall I feel I was pretty good. And I think that's a win. Isn't it? It's a win because I feel it's a win. It's a win for me. I know because, I'm not perfect, but I'm striving to do my best. And sometimes, in my career, for example, I know this year I was speaking in Sydney. I was doing a talk at large organization, and there was a lot kind of hanging on it because there was a potential partnership with them that we could do, and I wasn't sure how it's gonna go, right? And it's also been it's been a big group of people, and I haven't spoken to such a big crowd of people before, so I wasn't sure how it's all gonna go, but I felt that I showed up at my best. And I did well. And, the partnership did happen, which I'm really proud of and excited by. But what I'm probably proud of the most is that I did my best. I did my absolute best. I delivered. I gave it with heart. I was there with my purpose. I connected with the people there. It was a beautiful moment. So that's a win. Even if I didn't get anything out of it, well, so what? I still feel proud of myself. It was a win for me. So what has been a win for you this year? What is a moment where something went right for you? Maybe you stood up for yourself. Maybe you didn't give up. Maybe you didn't hit back at the person. Maybe you felt you took one step closer towards your dream. But what's been your win? Because it's so vital to celebrate that, to acknowledge that. What are maybe the habits that you put in place that have been supporting you, making you feel better? Maybe other people think they're stupid. Maybe other people don't care. But for you, it's a big deal. I hope there are some wins that you can celebrate, my friend. So vital for us to reflect on the year that's been, on the important moments, on the decisions that you took. Decisions that make you who you are, that define you, have defined you this year, whether anyone knows this or not. On the moments where you experience something that touched you, that's important to you, that is meaningful, created meaning. Internal shifts where you learn something about yourself. You learn something about the world around you. You found a different perspective, new way of looking at things. And finally, a win. Reflecting on the wins that you had. Something that went right for you. Something that turned your way. That's what it's about, my friend. I hope this has been helpful to you and supportive. I want to thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you that you can look towards next year with hope. Hope that things will turn around. And hope that there's a possibility that something changes. Hope that we can get through this together. You, me, all of us who want the world to be a better place. Who want the world to be better. Who want a better change in this world. Because I truly believe that it is alone that we suffer. But together we hope. My name is Joe Bakhmutsky. Thank you for being here.